Sometimes the most powerful tools for changing our perspective, the things that can literally shift how we feel about our entire day, there are these complex, heavy philosophies. Nope, they're often hidden in the simplest of phrases. So let's dive into one of those right now.
And here it is. This one little sentence is what we're going to unpack today. I know, at first glance, it looks almost too simple, right? But the real magic isn't just in the words. It's in how they're put together. It's a very specific, two-part journey for your brain.
So yeah, this isn't just some random quote you'd find on a coffee mug. It actually has roots, and it comes with a very clear set of instructions for how to make it work. Let's take a look at where it's from.
Okay, so this phrase comes from a collection of Buddhist sayings, and the instruction that comes with it is just beautiful in its simplicity. It says, say this oftenly. In other words, say it often. Right there, that's a huge clue. This isn't just something to agree with, it's a practice. It's something you do.
All right, let's put this little sentence under the microscope, shall we? It's really built in two halves, and the first half, well, it starts with a big dose of honesty.
So, notice this. The phrase doesn't kick off with some forced positivity, like, just be happy, or anything like that. It starts right here with this really plain, straightforward statement. My life is not perfect. And I get it. That might feel like a kind of strange place to begin if we're trying to feel more thankful.
Which of course leads to the big question, right? Why on earth would a phrase that's designed to make you feel better start with something that sounds, well, a little bit negative? Why not just skip to the good part?
And here's the key. That first part, it's not a complaint. It's a foundation. When you say, my life is not perfect, you're not whining. You are simply accepting reality. You can't build a real, lasting change in perspective on some fantasy world. You've got to start from a place of honesty. It's the necessary first step.
Okay, so you see how this is building? We've laid the foundation of honesty. And now we get to what is honestly the most critical part of this entire sentence. It's the engine of the whole thing, and it's all packed into just one tiny little word.
That word is but. That's it. It's the pivot point. It's the fulcrum that your whole mindset shifts on. It takes all the energy from that honest truth, that life isn't perfect, and it gets ready to completely redirect it.
I mean, think about that for a second. Without that word, my life is not perfect is just, well, a fact. It can kind of leave you stuck there thinking about everything that's wrong. But the second you add that one word, but, you're signaling a turn. You're telling your own brain, okay, we've acknowledged that part, now we're going somewhere else.
So, where are we going? Where does this pivot actually take us? Well, after we've looked at reality and hit that pivot, we arrive at our final destination, the active practice of thankfulness. This is where we land. After acknowledging the imperfections, you make a conscious choice to turn your attention right here. See, it's not about pretending the problems don't exist. It's about choosing where your focus is ultimately going to rest.
We can call this active gratitude, and the key word there is active. This isn't just some passive feeling that, hopefully washes over you. No, it's a deliberate act. It's a mental exercise. It's you consciously deciding to shift your focus away from what's missing and onto what you actually have. It's a muscle you have to build. Okay, so now we have the whole structure. But how do we actually take this great little sentence and turn it from just a nice idea into a real automatic mental habit?
This is where we circle right back to the beginning. The secret was in that original instruction all along. Say it often. Its power doesn't come from saying it one time when you're feeling down. No, it comes from the repetition. It's about literally carving a new pathway in your brain so this thought process becomes second nature.
So here's the whole thing boiled down into 4 simple steps. First, you acknowledge reality, no sugarcoating. Second, you pivot your perspective with that incredibly powerful little word, but. Third, you deliberately focus on gratitude, on what you have. And fourth, and this is the one that makes it all stick, you repeat it, often.
And there it is, all together. It's an acceptance of the whole picture, isn't it? The good, the bad, the imperfect. And then a conscious choice to let your attention rest on the good.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thing to think about. What would actually happen in your day-to-day life? What could truly change if this thought process wasn't something you had to force yourself to do, but it just became a natural reflex? Something to chew on.